Hi again guys, now we're up to the third video where we are reading Disney's Msberann, Djali and the Gypsy. So yes, let's go on to chapter 6. That evening, Msberann and Djali shared a feast bought with the day's earnings with the other gypsies. Later back in a wagon, Msberann stretched out on the bed and untied her scarf. Shiny coins poured out onto the pink spread. "Didn't we do well?" she asked her new friend. Djali didn't care much for money. It didn't taste very good. So he raised the god off his pillow and gave the empty plates another lick. Msberann rolled over and scooped up the coins. "Wait until tomorrow," she cried. "Everyone will have heard of us, and there will be even more people to see us dance." As she watched the skinny goat with the needle around the belly, Msberann sat up. "You need a name," she cried. "What will we call you?" Djali's very full tummy began to make noises. "Djali, it gurgled. Djali, Djali," Msberann repeated. "I know, we'll call you Djali," she said, planting a kiss on her nose. At that moment there was a shout outside the wagon. "You in there, thief!" cried an ominously familiar voice. "What?" gasped Msberann, peeking through the curtain doorway of the wagon. "It's that awful shepherd! Come out, thief!" he barked for all to hear. Djali squirmed under a pile of dresses and pillows to hide. Msberann stood up and squared her shoulders. She threw aside the curtain covering the doorway and marched outside. "There she is!" shouted the shepherd, pointing his finger angrily at Msberann. "There's the thief who stole my poor little goat." Msberann's jaw dropped. "I stole your goat?" she said in shock. "She admits it," yelled the shepherd, throwing her arms in the air. "The thief has no shame." A small crowd of gypsies had gathered to see what the commotion was all about. Msberann yelled to them. "I stole nothing. He threw this goat out of his flock. He cared nothing for him," she insisted. "So Djali came with me." The gypsies muttered. "I never saw her with that goat before. Msberann would never do such a thing. If she didn't steal it, where did the goat come from? Why would Msberann steal a goat?" As she listened to her fellow gypsies whispering, a tiny fear crept into Msberann's heart. They couldn't make her give Djali back to that horrible man, could they? "I give you my word as a gypsy. I did not steal this goat," she declared. The muttering stopped as the gypsies considered this. "Her word," sounded the shepherd. "What good is the word of a gypsy?" It was the wrong thing to say in a gypsy camp. The stony faces of the gypsies turned to stare at the shepherd. "I mean, it's just that she stole my goat," he stammered, trying to regain some of the crowd's sympathy. Msberann sighed in relief. Maybe everything would be all right after all. Chapter 7. As the greedy shepherd tried in vain to convince the gypsies that Djali was his, a hush fell over the crowd. Hobbling toward Msberann's wagon came one of the oldest gypsies in the camp. Her name was Yolanda, and she was respected and loved by all. She had endured great sorrows in her life, and was known to be honest and wise. Her advice was sought by kings and beggars alike. There were those who whispered that she even had magical abilities. Msberann faced the woman with her back straight and her gaze steady, ready to fight for Djali. But before she could say a word, the shepherd brushed past her. "Listen to me," he burst out, pointing again at Msberann. "This girl has stolen my goat, my darling little goat that I raised myself." Msberann's hands clenched into fists, but she held her tongue. "This goat means everything to me," the shepherd cried. "I did not make him work all day to earn his keep. I pampered him like a baby. This thief has put him to work, slaving all day in the hot sun just so she can get rich from the money he has earned." And to follow up his remarks, the shepherd covered his face in his hands and began to bellow in great, loud sobs. Yolanda listened quietly. Then she turned to Msberann. "The goat is mine," Msberann said evenly. "This man cares nothing for him. He only wants him now because he sees that money can be made. But I did not force Djali to dance. He dances because he likes to do it." The old woman's eyes lit up. "He dances?" she asked in delight. "When I was a young girl, I had a little duck that followed me everywhere. He danced when I danced. I loved him very much." Her gaze settled on Djali, who was peeking out from Msberann's wagon. "Let me see this goat dance," she said. One of the gypsies handed Msberann a tambourine. She confidently raised her arms and gave it 3 loud shakes. "Come on, Djali," she called. She began her dance. Djali tucked back into the wagon when he saw that the shepherd was still out there. The frightened goat remembered how the man had lifted him up and thrown him down. He didn't want to go through that again. Outside, Esmeralda shook the tambourine harder, and now the gypsy began to play the concertina. The music got louder. Esmeralda skipped over to the wagon and held the curtain open. Djali longed to join Esmeralda, but the sneering face of the shepherd kept him inside. The gypsy children began to chanting, "Djali, Djali, Djali." How fun it would be to dance for them. The little goat gathered all his courage and burst outside. A tremendous cheer rose from the gypsies. When he began dancing with Esmeralda, the children joined in too, and even Yolanda started tapping her feet. Around in circles they danced, leaping and zigzagging and twirling. The gypsies held hands and danced in a circle around Esmeralda and Djali, their feet thumping hard on the ground. A fiddle and drum added to the din. The dancing founded the campfire so that great orange flames leapt up in a dance of their own. In a burst of defiance, Djali pranced over to the shepherd and gave him a powerful butt from behind. Yolanda observed it all, but her expression betrayed nothing. Finally, Esmeralda lowered the tambourine. The music stopped. The gypsies scattered around curiously. Surely anyone could see that Djali and Esmeralda belonged together. Chapter 8. Rubbing his sore bottom, the shepherd rose from the dust and stood before the old woman. His fury was clear. "This girl is crafty and has you all fooled. You gypsies should know that. I'm telling you, she's a thief." Yolanda shook her head sadly. "We gypsies have often been called thieves and beggars. We have been cast out from society." The old woman turned to Esmeralda. "I do not believe that you are a thief, my dear. But neither do I believe that this little goat belongs to you." Esmeralda's face dropped, and the crowd sighed. Djali lowered his head and tucked his tail between his legs. "I told you," shrieked the shepherd, violently grabbing Djali by the scruff of the neck. "Not so fast," cautioned Yolanda, a tiny smile upon her wrinkled cheeks. The gypsies pressed forward. What did the old woman mean? Djali whimpered in the grip of the shepherd's young, rough hand. Yolanda went on. No, Esmeralda, this little goat does not belong to you." But she paused and gave the shepherd a hard look. "He most certainly does not belong to this cruel man." With a sudden twist, Djali freed himself from the shepherd and bounded over to the old gypsy. Stroking his head, Yolanda said, "I have seen this creature dance and know that he has the heart and soul of a gypsy. He is as free as the wind. He may go where he pleases, live where he pleases, dance as he pleases. No one can own a gypsy." Esmeralda clapped her hands together as tears of joy came to her eyes. She had always been proud to be a gypsy, but Yolanda's words moved her greatly. The old woman knelt down and removed one of the heavy golden hoops from her ears. "And to welcome you, I offer this gift." Djali stood very still as the earring was clipped to his ear. He was truly a gypsy. Esmeralda knelt down and held out her arms. Djali happily kicked up his heels and danced over to her. "Let us all remember," said Yolanda, "that the gypsy loves his freedom above all things. It is what keeps us alive." "You'll be sorry," threatened the shepherd, waving his fist. But his words were drowned out by the righteous music of the tambourine and the concertina, the flutes and the drum. The pounding feet of the entire gypsy camp joined in a righteous dance of celebration. It was a wonderful night to be a gypsy. Chapter 9. Djali had enjoyed every day and night since then. Right now he was merely prancing around Esmeralda and Phoebe's picnic spot. "That's my partner," Esmeralda said appreciatively. "Will I have to become a gypsy too?" Phoebe asked her playfully. He sat up and struck a dancer's pose. Esmeralda grinned and pointed to Djali, who was cautiously chewing on Phoebe's sleeve. "Why not?" she laughed. "Djali seems to be working on your costume right now." "Hey, stop that!" Phoebe cried, pulling his arm away. No, admonished Esmeralda with a smile on her face. Watch what you say. Djali is a friend of mine." "It's a good thing," laughed Phoebus, pointing to the retreating goat, because there he goes with your tambourine." And then they both rose and chased the playful goat across the meadow. So there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed me reading this book. I just love this book. Love that we're getting a little backstory here to how Djali and Esmeralda met. So yeah, guys, hope you liked this little reading, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a super awesome comment on Instagram. Bye, everyone.